Our theme, resistance and revolt. Our topic, the Barbados Slave Revolt, 1816, also known as the Bussa Rebellion. Our main objective today is to examine the causes of the Barbados Slave Revolt. Now, Barbados is located in the Eastern Caribbean. In fact, it is the most easternly Caribbean country. Some background information on the colony of Barbados. The colony of Barbados was first inhabited by Taino Indians. It was settled by the English in 1627. It was the first Caribbean territory to produce sugar. It is the birthplace of the Sugar Revolution. Barbados also had a colonial government with a governor. The governor was appointed by the British Crown. Our first cause is the desire for freedom. For every single slave rebellion, the enslaved people desire freedom. According to historian Michael Creighton, enslaved Africans simply wish to create a life of their own. Historian Hilary Beckles and Vereen Shepherd noted that Blacks pursued their freedom by all means possible. They declared war on the system and fought bloody battles in the process. Our second cause, harsh treatment. Enslaved Africans in Barbados, they were treated harshly. They were whipped. They endured excessive punishment. They were poor nutrition, overworked, and in fact, in 1740, an enslaved woman was nailed to a tree. Our third cause, the misinterpretation of the registry or the registration bill. Now, in 1807, Britain abolished the slave trade. It was now illegal to import Africans in the British West Indies. No more transatlantic slave trade for the British colonies. Now, what was the registry bill? In 1815, the British government passed this bill to prevent the illegal importation of Africans. So all enslaved persons had to be registered in the colony. The planters objected to the registry bill. They wrote letters in the newspaper. They talked openly about their objection, and they also had meeting about the bill. Enslaved thought that the planters were withholding their freedom. It had nothing to do with their freedom. In fact, as historians, we go to the archive, and I found this quote in the archive where it actually stated that enslaved were misguided about the registration bill, and they thought that they were receiving their emancipation. This was not true. Our fourth cause, the role of elite enslaved Africans. Now, we know that slave society was very stratified. Elite enslaved had privileges. They were very mobile. And because they had privilege, they were able to move around freely. Their occupation including boilerman, distiller, blacksmith, carpenter, rangers, and some of the elite enslaved in Barbados were Bussa, Jackie, Johnny, and King Wilshire. Some elite enslaved were actually born in Africa. Bussa was the leader of the revolt, and he was born in Africa. In fact, a historian noted Monica Schussler that this was a cause. Now, the inspiration of the Haitian Revolution was another cause. And the Haitian Revolution took place 1791 to 1804. This revolution inspired other blacks to revolt. Haiti was the first black republic in the Americas. In fact, Nanny Grigg was an enslaved woman in Barbados, and she always made reference to the Haitian Revolt. She told them that the Haitian would assist them in their rebellion. Another cause, the activities of non-conformist churches. Now, who are the non-conformist churches? These are churches that broke away from the Church of England. For example, the Methodists, the Wesleyan, the Quakers. Now, the missionaries in Barbados, these missionaries, they taught the enslaved people to read. They trained the enslaved people as church leaders. They exposed them to Bible verses of the Exodus story. Yes. Another cause, political consciousness among the enslaved people. Now, what is political consciousness? This means to be awakened to your political role and identity. Now, historian Hilary Beckles noted that enslaved people were motivated by political consciousness. During the revolt, Barbadians told the people that the island belonged to them and not to white men. In fact, they wanted to create a black country. They stated that Barbados was a black man's country. This was the political consciousness of the enslaved people in Barbados during this time. And just to note that their political consciousness is also fueled by the Haitian Revolution, because Haiti became the first Black republic. And this was very, very significant for the Barbadian enslaved people. And so it inspired them. Political consciousness